So this is going to be a bit of a different episode. Back in June of 2004, Cartoon Network rebranded their channel advertising and introduced Cartoon City, which ran until April of 2006 when Cartoon Network rebranded again, though the bumpers stopped being produced in May the following year. Now, I wanted to take a look at these commercials because they're cool little pieces of animation. There are three types of these commercials: Ambient Shots, single series commercials, and the crossover commercials. By far the ones that look the best are the ambient shots of the city, and various shows that aired on Cartoon Network. Some of my favorites of these types are the ones of Tyne Tower at various times of day. Especially this night shot, I absolutely love the way it looks. I also love the way they make a lot of the shots from shows look, like all of the Candy commercials. The way the treehouse looks is just beautiful. The building of these sets has to be a royal pain to make, especially because a great number of them were used only a handful of times. Now, while the ambient shots are nice, that's not all they have to offer. In several ambient shots, we have jokes that are placed in view. My absolute favorite one being this one of the highway, which has a grim billboard that doubles as a seatbelt PSA. It's a perfect amount of subtle and dark humor to stick in the back of your mind. Another one I enjoy is this real estate ad about Tyne's Tower. There's something about the phrase giant luxury tea that just gets me. We also have this Candy one from the front of number one's house with a giant pile of wood falling from the sky. I just enjoy this one. Now, before I move on to the next type of commercial, let's talk about the actual animation. The world itself is CGI, everything is, and they stylized it well enough that to this day the CG still looks good, even though the commercials aren't HD. Now, when the characters show up, you'll notice that they aren't animated in the same style as their respective shows. Instead, for all the 2D characters, they are animated in the same style as the commercials. Now, I tried to find out what style the 2D was animated through, and I couldn't find any information as to how it was animated. Anyway, despite being animated differently, all the characters look exactly like you would expect. No one really looks off, and a big part of that is that while they are animated differently, they all still have the same art style as their respective shows, and a lot of effort went into blending the characters into this world. While it's always obvious that it's 2D models on top of a 3D backdrop, thanks to the lighting and shading of the models, they all fit into the world quite well. So if I'm going to talk about the rest of these, I'm going to start with the one I think of every single time I think of these bumpers. In this commercial, we see the professor come out of the grocery store with food when he realizes he locked his keys in his car. Several other characters come by, starting with Ed and number one.
Is there a problem, Professor?
Oh, hello, number one. I seem to have locked myself out of my car.
And now he is out of cheese. Crackers!
Oddly enough, while Ed is eating the professor's food, number one decides to help an adult, and we have Dexter stop by and take a shot at the professor. This one line and reaction tells me that they have some form of rivalry, and I'm interested and want to know more. Then Mandy shows up and fixes everything. This commercial is only 60 seconds, but it's one of the best of the run. It's fast-paced, gets off several jokes, and shows off 5 of their shows. 6 if you count the Robin vending machine in the background. Now, a lot of these commercials are short little jokes involving several shows, like Samurai Jack testing out his new broom, or Dexter and Blue walking when it starts raining, but Dexter has an invention to fix things. Another great one is this one where Frankie is trying to find a place to park, but is constantly forced to move. It lets all the shows get a joke in, however, it's the mayor calling the Powerpuff Girls because someone had the audacity to park in front of City Hall that gets me.
Miss Bellum, get me the Powerpuff Girls!
I also like this theater bumper with the Eds trying to see a movie for free. Honestly, the Ed, Edd and Eddy commercials might be my favorite ones of them all. The way Ed delivers his lines is always on point. Take this commercial where Eddie asks him for a quarter.
Ed, do you have a quarter?
I do not have a quarter for you, Eddie. I am sorry. Do you have a quarter, Eddie?
It's the blank stare that gets me every time. I also love this commercial where the Eds steal one of Cartoon Network's ads. It's simple but funny. One of the ones my friends pointed out was this laundromat commercial with Jack and Johnny Bravo. This one stands out because of the small talk the two give and the fact that thanks to Blossom, Jack's clothing was turned pink. The commercial I think I saw the most as a kid was this one where a plastic bag flies around the city. It foils the K&D's plans to take off Death, stops the Eds from getting a picture of a UFO, and scares Shaggy and Scooby before getting caught in the Megas from Megas XLR. Some of the commercials could even act as their own shows if given the right treatment. Take a look at the Tom and Jerry ads. Some of them are just quick little moments that you would see in any of their various series. With a little bit of work, these ads could be an entire comedy series that doesn't overstay their welcome and doesn't have to adhere to standard TV runtimes. I should take time to mention the music played in these ads is really good. The standard music they use is similar to the classic Cartoon Network jingle that would play at the end of the episodes. Though this is designed with a wider array of instruments, and I'm not sure how to describe it best. The word that comes to mind is remix. However, the tune played in these bumpers is definitely not a remix, more of a reimagining, I guess. Anyway, the reason why I want to talk about these is that they're all really cool pieces of animation, and I've seen most of the shows spotlighted in these bumpers, though not all of them. And I remember maybe 3 or 4 of them significantly enough to talk about them. Either way, these came out at the time of writing over 17 years ago, and I always wish Cartoon Network kept them longer than they did. This set of commercials is my favorite run I have ever seen. I wanted to shed some spotlight on them for people that haven't seen them. There was a lot of creativity in them, and they deserve to be remembered. If I remember, I'll leave a link to them in the description below or a pinned comment, though you can easily find them all on YouTube. Just search for Cartoon Network City. Also, I found a retrospective by this guy, Shadowstreak. I don't really watch this guy, but he did a pretty good video on the CN City. And I will leave a link to that down below as well. If you like this video and want to see me tackle more commercials in the future, let me know. I would like to look at Nickelodeon's Nicomas run, though I don't know how long this video's production will take. If I have time, I'll likely look at them this year. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.